What up? It's another video by Ify's voice, and here goes another video. So here I go. Title of this video is going to be something like "Black Men don't hate on black women that date interracial." You know, black men don't hate on black women that date interracial. There's nothing wrong with interracial dating, and if a black woman does it, there's nothing wrong with it. Just realize that. Don't hate on black women that date interracial. You don't own black women. You may be of the same ethnicity, culture, and race. You may have a bond with them but you don't own them. So they have the freedom to date anyone they want. Just as if you, just as also you have the freedom to date anyone you want. You don't own each other. This is not. They're not your slaves. You can't control every aspect of their life. Everybody has the freedom to date whoever they want and to be happy with whoever they want to be happy with. If anything, you should still love a woman, still like and black women, even if they do date interracially. Because that means you can still relate with them. So even if a black woman dates interracially, you can still like them because even if they date interracially, it doesn't change the way they speak to you or how they relate with you. You still relate with her. You still talk to her. You still communicate with them and relate with them and talk to them. It's still there. You still bond. You still relate with them, talk to them, and communicate with them. Nothing changes that. So but just because someone dates interracially doesn't mean you should hate on them. It does just because you shouldn't hate people, black women, if they date interracially. If anything, that should make you spice things up a little bit between y'all. Show y'all could be a little this or a little that. So you know, just realize that. Don't hate on black women that date interracially. Try to have a love and a like black woman. They're your ethnicity, your race of woman, and do have a bond with them, whether they date you, they interracially or not, or date their own race. You do have a bond with them, and you do relate with them and connect with them to certain degrees, no matter what. So just realize that you should, and it's kind of small and kind of ignorant, not ignorant, but kind of infantile to like and selfish to think that your race of woman can never date interracially. It's kind of selfish and ignorant. That means you really don't, you can't like them unconditionally a little bit. Wait, hold on. Ooh, need that water break. Choking. All right, here I go. Yeah, you gotta learn to like black women. If you really like black women, you really like them despite the decisions they make, as long as they're respectable decisions. So don't hate black women that date interracially. I've never hated black women that date interracially. I've always thought black women could date interracially if they want to, since I was born, really, since I was a little kid. Anyone could date interracially if they want to. It doesn't mean they hate you. Some may hate. I see people. Nah, I ain't gonna say some may hate because they date interracially, but it doesn't mean that they hate you just because they date interracially. So I see some people online bashing each other because they're in an interracial relationship. That makes interracial dating look ugly, and that's stay away from that. You can't win. You can't shine like that. Don't bash people because you date interracially. That's ugly and infantile. But don't hate on people just because they date interracially. Don't hate black women just because she dates interracially. Everybody has a freedom to date who they want. It doesn't mean they don't like you still. A lot of people, some people may think that if they date interracially, it means they don't like me still. They don't like me. If black women date interracially, it means they don't like me still. No, she can still like you and relate to you, but they're women. They can date anyone they want. They can let different energies to come in their life. It doesn't mean they don't like you. Your energy is still in her life. Your energy still is in her life, and she still likes you too if you're a good person. But other energies and other people can come in their life and like them too. They can't only be liked by black men. So like them no matter who they date. Most black women date black men, but some of them on the rise of dating interracially, and I don't think you should hate them because they date interracially. Like them too. You can still relate with them. You can still like them. You can still very much relate with them and like them too, even if they're in an interracial relationship. breaks that bond you have with certain women, you know. So just realize that love and like black women, even if they're in an interracial relationship, it shows you're a bigger person. It shows you're a better person, and it shows you're an intelligent person. It shows you have a natural aptitude to relate with people and to love people and like people, despite and not be selfish and only want things your way, you know. So if you only like black women that date your race, then you really don't like them that much, because and you're very close-minded, you know. If you only like black women that only date black women, and if you're a black man and you only like black women that date black men, and you think black women should only date black men, then you're crazy. You know, that's like saying black men should only date black men. You know, I see black men dating interracially. Do I say, oh, do I get up in a uproar over that? No. So don't have a double standard, and don't think ignorantly and be very selfish. Because if you really think, if you really understood life, I'm being clear with you now. If you really understood life, you would realize that certain people could date interracially because they can connect with a person of another race, and it's the best thing they should do for relationship wise for them. If you really understood life, you would realize that. But a lot of people don't realize that, don't understand other people's circumstances, positions in life, and circumstances. So they just refuse to understand another person's circumstances. They think very narrow-mindedly and only want people to see. They don't see the big picture, and they just can't like people really. So they just don't see the big picture, you know. So black men, don't hate on black women that date interracially. I know I don't hate on black women that date interracially. If they want to date interracially, they can. It doesn't mean I don't connect with them still. It doesn't mean I don't like them still. It doesn't mean I don't relate with them still. And it doesn't mean you don't connect with them still, like them or relate with them. You can still like them, connect with them, and relate with them. It just means that they can date a person of another race because different energies can come into people's lives. You know, they can like someone else too. It doesn't mean they only have to only like black men. They can like other races too. You know, so that's what this video is about. Black men, don't hate on black women that date interracially. Don't be so selfish. Don't be so close-minded. Don't be so hateful. Be a little open-minded. See the big picture. If anything, dating interracially a little bit could spice things up between you and show that you can still relate with each other, can still relate with each other no matter what, you know. So and like each other no matter what. You know, I don't see why people hate on black women who date interracially. It's very narrow-minded. It shows you don't really like her. And if you hate her too much for that, then you may not like her in the first place. You know, you just a very, I don't know what you really thought about them. You just thought something about in your mind or something. But if you didn't like them, you may not really like them in the first place. You're just very selfish and very narrow-minded and not understanding things about life and anything. So, black men, stop hating on black women that date interracially. They can date interracially. Doesn't mean they don't like you. They still like you too. Different people can like, but they can like other races too. There's nothing wrong with that. Just see it like that. Peace.